Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news yesterday. Everyone knows that RFK dropped out of the presidential race in swing states. However, Wisconsin was the first to do it, and now it's Wisconsin and Michigan. Wisconsin is now forcing RFK Jr. to stay on the ballot despite endorsing Trump. The Wisconsin Election Commission has voted 5-1 to keep RFJ on the ballot despite his request to withdraw after suspending his campaign and endorsing Trump. Citing state law, the commission denied his request, stating that candidates can't remove their names once they've filed. What are you talking about? So Nikki Haley's name's still on the ballot?
Joe Biden's name?
Joe Biden's name's still on the ballot? Ron DeSantis, Tim Scott, the list goes on and on. Are all those people's names still on the ballot? A motion to challenge the law requiring candidates to stay on the ballot failed in a 3-3 vote. Apparently a tie is a fail. Kennedy's name will remain, possibly affecting GOP support in Wisconsin. Now, this is the woman forcing him to stay. Is this Michigan or Wisconsin?
Yeah,
this is Michigan's. All right, let's listen to what Michigan has to say.
If someone were to violate the law and not certify the election at the local level, we will come for you. So any local certifier thinking of skirting the law and not certifying the vote, don't even think about it, because we'll get
Okay, I don't know what that was.
I have several questions here.
All right, so okay, I got it. This person saying that they'll track you down if you don't certify the election. This is the same person in Michigan, the Secretary of State, that just denied RFK Jr. from being able to pull off the ballot. So now we've got Michigan and Wisconsin, which the two states that could possibly decide this election have now said RFK Jr., even though he has removed his name off the ballot, is not allowed to remove his name off the ballot. So my question is this. If you're running for president of the United States and you decide, I don't want to run for president of the United States anymore, so they're saying that you're not allowed to remove your name? What if you win? And you said, I don't want to run anymore. What if you win?
And Graham, didn't you say also that they stopped giving him Secret Service protection?
Thank you, Tony. Exactly right. So the day after RFK Jr. says that he's removing his name from swing states, staying in the other 40 states, the White House removed Secret Service detail from him. But now you're telling me that so he dropped out of the race, and that's good enough for the White House to say, well, you don't need Secret Service protection anymore. Mm-hmm. But now the states that could define this election are saying, no. You, as a free American citizen, are not allowed to remove your name from the race. You silly goose, you. You can't possibly do that. What kind of banana republic garbage is this? You're not allowed to remove your own name from an election?
I have a question. All right, and I'm going to go back to this Jack Smith thing real quick. I understand it was a classified documents case, but didn't the judge rule that his overseeing of a case was unconstitutional because he wasn't appointed by a president and confirmed by Congress? So
that's the Florida thing. That's the Florida thing he was talking about.
But if it's unconstitutional in one spot, how is it constitutional in a different one? That don't make no sense to me. Two, how is it that a candidate asked to be removed from a ballot and then another candidate asked to be removed from a ballot, but we get to pick and choose which one we actually remove from a ballot? At this point right now,
is Joe Biden's name on the ballot in Michigan and Wisconsin?
Exactly. At this point right now, and Graham's normally the very vicious and mean one here. I'm going to say, if you're still a Democrat and you're still voting for these people, you're a freaking idiot. You're an idiot.
So I'm interested to see if they force RFK to keep his name on there, and they
have right now
they're I know, but if they're saying that, and so Biden's name is probably going to be left on there as well.
Well, it better be.
Is that going to split the people that are going to say, well, I still, I'm voting for Biden. I don't know anything about Harris. I'm gonna go for Biden.
I mean, it almost makes you say everybody in Michigan and Wisconsin should vote for Joe Biden. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I don't want to interrupt the video for too long, but I have to tell you about my friends at Birch Gold Group. Listen, we all know the economy is in shambles, and I hate to break it to you, it doesn't look like it's getting any better anytime soon. But there is something that you can do to protect your family by protecting your money. So all you got to do is text the word Graham, that's GRAHAM, to the number 989898 right now. And my friends at Birch Gold Group are going to send you a free 25-page information kit on how gold, silver, and precious metals can help protect your family by protecting your money in these uncertain times. Free information is vital information, so text the word Graham, that's GRAHAM, to 989898 right now. In those states. Like, I mean, it's crazy, man. Like, but that's my point. Technically, Kamala Harris was not the nominee for president,
Right.
Or for the Democrats till 10 days ago. Okay. RFK dropped out the very next day. Okay. Literally within 24 hours of her formally accepting the nomination from the Democratic Party, RFK drops out. So Joe Biden's not allowed to be. It's fine that Joe Biden's not, but RFK can't remove his name from the ballot. Do you understand the absurdity that is, that in America, you can't decide to get out of an election if you want to get out of it? Like, that's like saying if a year and a half ago you said, I'm going to throw my name in the hat for president. 6 months in, you're like, never mind, I don't want to do this. And they're like, well, tough luck, buddy. You better hope they don't vote you in, because then you're going to be forced to be the president for 4 years.
When do they print these ballots?
That I don't know.
Well, I mean, they're early voting now. They're early voting really soon. So
Kamala was just put in as the DNC. You can't tell me that their excuse is like, oh, it's too late. We've already printed all this.
Well, that's what they are saying. They're saying state law says that it's too late for him to remove his name off the ballot.
That's a lie.
Let's look at the timeline.
There's no reason.
The reason is they know, look, if this was any other thing, if RFK's name would not help Donald Trump, no one would care. Okay. That's the thing. Everybody has to understand 100%. This happens all the time. Okay. Literally Bernie Sanders in 16 and 20 was leading in the nomination category until the DNC, when he got voted out by the tier 2 delegate voters. Okay. So was Bernie Sanders' name left on there? Because he wasn't able to withdraw until like a week later.
That's a good question.
But Bernie Sanders' name was out. It's only because RFK dropping out positively affects Donald Trump. That is it. This is the epitome of politically motivated attacks against Donald Trump.
So I have a question before you move on here, Graham. What do we think about RFK being able to campaign in Wisconsin and Michigan?
He's going to have to.
Yeah,
he's going to have to camp out there for the next.
He's going to have to live in Michigan and Wisconsin.
My second part of that, if the Democrats see him doing that, how long after that do you think they're going to drop the monkeypox, shut everything down? Nobody can, could come in, so he has to not be there.
Yeah, so somebody just brought up a good point. One of the things back when people were combating me on if Biden was going to drop out or not, they said it's too late for them to put anybody in because certain states don't allow you to switch out candidates in the same party, but yet they have.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's only because Donald Trump. Let's look at this timeline of events really quick. Colin Rugg did a good job of putting this together. This is a timeline of events. Let's see. In the days after RFK, so since Friday, all right, this has all happened since Friday. Number one, Democrats are forcing him to remain on the ballot in Michigan and Wisconsin so they can try and take votes away from Trump. Number two, RFK reveals he's being forced to cough up $10 million to defend himself from Democrats who wanted to keep him off of the ballots. 3, Jack Smith filed a superseding indictment against Trump just 70 days, now 68 days, before the 2024 election. Number 4, Mark Zuckerberg confirms the Biden administration pressured Meta into censoring Americans, and the FBI pressured Meta to silence the Hunter Biden laptop. Number 5, the media has launched multiple slander campaigns against RFK to minimize the impact of his endorsement. And this is all since Friday. They're now trying to rig it again. So not only are they throwing another indictment at Donald Trump, they're also trying to rig it to a point. I mean, think about what we're saying, people. We now live in a country to where you're not even allowed to take your name off an election ballot if the state says so. I don't even have words for that. Like, what? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You know what else? You know what else I think it is? I think if RFK drops out of every state, I think they'd have a less thing there. But because he only dropped out of the swing states, they're able to do this to him anymore. I don't know, man. This is where we remind you to hit the like button, hit the share button. I don't have answers for you right this second. No. I got to process this stuff more. But
with the exception of they need to push all the states to put Biden back on the ballot with Kamala.
Yeah, that would be if I was the Trump campaign, I would be suing immediately to where if they're going to do that, well then Joe Biden's name better be on that ballot too. Yep. And then you want to talk about splitting the vote up for the Democrats, and that's a guaranteed win for Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing that I can think of for them to do is to sue anybody trying to do this with RFK and be like, if RFK has to do it and has to keep his name on the ballot, well then freaking keep Joe Biden on there as well, kind of thing. Yep. And so I don't know, man. It's crazy times. This is where we remind you to hit that like button, hit that share button, make sure to hit the follow button, and please leave us a comment in the comment section.